Here we're going to be looking at the if statements and then the if-else statements. So I've got myself a new playground and I've taken the code from the lecture section and added it here. Now that code is available as a text file to be downloaded. So I have a variable height, we have an integer, which is the data type of that variable, and we've got 193 as the value. Now, for those of you who use the metric system, you're probably going, he means 193 centimeters. And for those of you who use the imperial system, I mean 193 centimeters. So let's now take a look at this code and click on it here on the run button and see what happens. And there we have it. Wow, tall person gets printed out. Very exciting. I know, you can hardly contain yourself, but it's pretty cool. What you could do is we could change this and go 200. And now let's run it again. 200. Wow, tall person. Fantastic. You could do that all night and just keep going, changing those figures. Now let's do one more thing. Let's change it to 190 and run it. And you see we get the same thing. Wow, tall person. That's because we're checking if height is greater than or equal to 190. And we're saying, yes, it is greater than or equal to. Obviously, it's not greater than, it's equal to. But if I change this to 189 and then run it, let's see what happens. Absolutely nothing. What happened there was we went, if height is greater than or equal to 190, so we're checking the height, this variable here, and we can see its value is 189. So what's happened? This has been false. So our code doesn't come inside the if statement, it drops straight out here to line 7, and there's nothing else to do, so it comes to an end. So we're going to look now at that second piece of code with the if and the else statement in it. So we have our variable height, and it has a value of 183. Now we're going to check if the value in height is greater than 190 or if it's not. So we do that here with our if height is greater than or equal to 190, and then our open curly brackets, and whatever's inside the open curly brackets and before the closed curly brackets is what happens if that first condition, height greater than or equal to 190, is true. If that isn't true, then it comes down here to the else statement and we'll execute what's in the else statement. So I'm going to run the code now and let's have a look and see what happens. So I've run the code and you can see we've got person is short. Now, if you think back to when we just had the if statement, what happened when that was false, that condition of height, nothing happened because there was no more code to execute. So in this situation, it's gone if height is greater than or equal to 190. No, that's false. And therefore, it's gone straight to the else statement and executed the code within the else statement, which in this case is the print person is short. So now's a good time for you to start to play around with that code and have a look at it, make some changes, and see what happens.